Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of Automation Testing Insider. So this is part 4 of Selenium Framework series which we are developing from scratch. So let's have a look like what we are going to do today. So we are going to create a testng XML file and we are going to refactor our base class, right? So in the previous video we talked about how we can set up our config.properties file. We have seen how we have set up the config.properties file in our Eclipse project and how we have created the base class. Right now today we'll focus on how we can refactor our base class in a proper way. So whenever we create the framework, always we do kind of enhancement, right? So how we can do the how we can update our base class, we'll have a look today. So let's have a look the agenda quickly. So we'll refactor our base class, we'll add couple of methods, and we'll talk about how we can how we can configure our testng XML file, how we can create it, and at last I'll show you I'll show you through all these steps through Eclipse project, right? So let's get started. So this is a project which we have created, guys, orange HRM, and last time we have created this base class, and here you can see the code we have written, the setup method we have written, and then there is a tear down method, and we have given the annotation before method and after method, right? And then we have created a dummy class just to test the configuration whether it is working fine or not, and we have created a method called dummy test and we have run it and it is perfectly working fine. Let me just run it again quickly whether our setup is working fine or not. So you can see browser is launched and navigated to URL and it is closed the browser. You can see one test case is pass, and you can see the result over here, and you can see here as well. So now what we are going to do today is we'll we refactor our base class in a proper way, right? So how we can do that? So the first thing what I'll do, I'll create a method called load config, public void load config, and what we'll do, this portion of the code will keep inside that method. Simply just cut that and keep inside this load config method, and it throws right file not found exception, and if you see over here it will also throws, so IO exception we can add here, throws IO exception. So this is we have this part we have done. We have created method called load config and we just added the configuration code which we have written in the last video. Now what we'll do, we'll create another method public, or let's say this time I'll use like private void launch browser, correct? So to launch the browser we have the code here, right? So simply I'll cut it over here, cut that code and put it inside this launch browser method, correct? So we can simply put the comment at top of this method, correct? And simply you can do Control Shift F so that you can arrange the code properly, right? And another way to put the comment is simply you put forward slash and then a star, and if you want to keep in 2 lines, right? So we can simply put cursor over here and we can just put enter. So you can see 2 lines added in the comment line, right? Simply I'll put it from here, I'll remove this backslash and star, so you can keep it here. And so this is the method which we have created, launch browser, for launching the browser, right? By getting the browser from the properties file, and then we have if else condition based on the browser value. another thing which we are going to do here is we'll create one more method, private void configure browser, right? What we are going to do here is simply will the weight, implicit weight, will keep it here in that method and maximize the browser, and then we'll navigate to the URL. So simply I'll cut this code and I'll put it over here inside a separate method. We are just rearranging refactoring our base class properly, right? So we have configure browser method over here. So what it does, so we can put the comment here. So basically this method is to configure browser settings such as like implicit weight, maximize the browser, and what else, and navigate to the URL, right? This is what we can write, and simply we'll add the comment like this and put the cursor here and just put the enter, press the enter, right? And simply put the backslash from here. So we have created two private methods, launch browser and what else we have, configure browser, right? And then and then we have, so what we'll do, just copy this, cut this setup method and we'll put at top like this. And what we'll do, inside this setup method we'll call those private methods. So what we have, launch browser, right? Launch browser, and then another method what we have, we have configure browser, two methods we have, right? So simply we'll put inside this setup method, and what I'll do, I'll put a proper method comment over here, like setting up WebDriver for, and I'll put put the test name over here. I'll call the test class. What is the class name? So we have method called, what is that method? Git class, right? Git class dot git simple name. So that will give us the name of the class. So simply we'll put the like print the message like setting up the driver for this dot class name, class dot simple name, get simple name. So it will print the class name. So this is done, guys, and what we'll do next, configure browser. Okay, what we can do here, we can add try catch over here in case if you are not navigated to a URL, so it throws the exception properly. We can handle this through try catch. So right click, select it, and then right click, surround it with try catch. So it will try for driver.get, okay, get URL, and then we'll print the you can simply remove a couple of lines. What you will do, you can write like fail to navigate to the URL. dot get message, simply will print the message in case of any exception, right? So this is how you can handle the exception. You can throw the exception like in case if you get any exception, right? This is how you can handle it using try catch. This one also we can put you can surround it using try catch, surround with try catch, right? And just remove here, we'll put the proper message here. Unable to quit the driver, right? And simply print the message if you get any exception. So this is how you can handle, you can refactor your code. Now what we are going to do, will add annotation here at the red test annotation. Okay, which annotation we are going to use? TestNG annotation before switch. Okay, why? Because we are going to load this before running the suite. So in couple of minutes we are going to create testng.xml, right? So there we'll set up the suite. Okay, so import before set from org.testng.annotations. so simply add this, and this is before method, this is find this setup method, and what else we have, this one tear down will be after method. So now I think everything is done, guys. We can just run our, what we'll do, we'll configure our testng.xml. now our base class is almost done, right? So what we are going to do next, src test resources and open the testng.xml, and we'll configure our testng file. So the first, the topmost tag is suite tag, right? And after that we have test name. What is the test which we are going to have? Like this. And then after test, this is the hierarchy. You can navigate, you can go through my TestNG playlist as well. You can learn about the complete TestNG tutorial I have listed down there, right? So you can learn more about TestNG. And we have next tag is classes, and inside classes all the test classes will be included here. So class like this, and control shift F, and we have to provide the name of the suite name. So orange HRM, so like this we can give, and let's give test name as well, test orange HRM test. Simple meaningful name we have given over here, and inside this we have to give the class name. So here name, and simply we have to put the class name. What is the test class name we have? So we have simply created a dummy class here, right? So what we'll do, we'll copy this path, like the package name and dummy class, right? No need to write like .java, so this is fine. What is the name of the test class name? So, and this is giving an error, so that's fine, we can do it later on. We need to add this doc type for the XML, so that's fine. Let's try to run whether it is working fine or not. So right click on this testng.xml and then run as testng suite. So now you can see it is running perfectly fine, right? Test pass title is matching, and you can see these results running. So you can see here the orange HRM suite. Inside that we have this dummy test, right, our test class, test method, and inside this we have, this is the class, dummy class. So this is how you can run your script using TestNG. Now what we'll do, since we are using the suite, so it contains multiple tests and test classes, right? So what we'll do, we'll add another test over here. But before that, what I'll do, let's add one more method in base class, like a static method, a static wait we are going to add, right? Because it is quickly closing the browser. So let me just show you again. So TestNG, we'll put some wait so that we can see like it launches the URL properly. You can see it closes as soon as the page loads, and then after that it closes very quickly. So what we'll do, we'll add one static wait method here, so that will be like useful, right? Later on we can use that method as well. So public void static wait. So we are not going to use thread.slip because that is not very efficient, and the method which we are which I'm going to show you, like this is static wait, that will be very useful. And whenever we want to debug our code, or we want to pause the thread for like couple of seconds, then we can easily use this method. So there is a class called log support. So we have to why it is not showing log support dot, yes, park nanos. There is a method called park nanos. So thread.slip works with millisecond, and this one works with nanoseconds. Okay, and what we can give, time units dot seconds, and we have another method to nanos, and here we'll give seconds. We'll pass the parameter in seconds, and simply what we'll do, we'll pass these seconds to here, right? So this is how you can write the method, guys. Static wait for pause, and we can call this method, this is public method, so we can call it throughout our framework anywhere. So what we'll do, what happens when we launch our browser and configure our browser, and after that we'll put that wait, static wait of, let's say, 2 seconds. Okay, and then let's see whether it is working fine or not. It should stop for a couple of seconds and then close the browser, right? So let's see, where is our testng.xml? right click, run as testng suite, launches the browser, navigated to URL, and then you can see it stays for some time, right? So this is how you can do using this method, using this static method. You can use whenever you want to use it. Now what we'll do, come back to this testng.xml. Let's create another class, and we'll see whether our test suite is working fine or not. So simply copy it and put it. I'll just copy paste the same class. Simply I'll change few things here. Dummy test 2, let's put dummy test 2, right? And rest of the things will be same. And in testng.xml, what we need to do, simply copy this class, right? Copy this class and put after. So classes tag will contain multiple classes, right? So, and here we'll put dummy class 2. Now let's see whether it is working fine or not. Right click and run as TestNG suite. So browser is launched, navigate it to URL, and then it will close the browser. Now you can see one of the test case is skipped, right? It's not failure, but it's skipped somehow. Go to the results, and here you can see the one test case is passed perfectly fine. Another one got failure here. So what is the failure? java.util.properties get property, because this dot prop is null. So our prop value is null. Base class 4434. Here we got the 44, got the error. So property, this value is null. Why? Let's see. So we have defined over here, right? Protected properties prop, and it is initialized only once, correct? So how to because we have initialization, this is before suite, and it is initialized only once, because before suite will run only once irrespective of how many test cases we have inside that suite, right? So how to solve this problem? So what we can do, we can simply use the static keyword over here. Static, using static keyword we can resolve this, because we want the name itself like static. So static belongs to the class level, right? Not like the object, it belongs to the object, right? What it will do, it will carry the same value, like the instance will be the same throughout the it will carry the same instance for the other classes as well. So since we are going to initialize only once, so it will be like useful for the both the classes, both of the test classes, it will carry the same value, right? So what we are going to do, we can simply put the static keyword here, then I think it should solve our problem. But before that, let's try to debug it. What is the problem, right? How you can also know like how we can debug our code in case of failure. So what we'll do, simply where we got the problem here 44, right? So simply put double just you can add the breakpoint over here by clicking twice. Okay, now what we'll do, simply go to the testng.xml, right click and debug as testng suite. So simply what it will do, it will break the code, it will stop the code here. String browser is equal to prop. Now you can see the value. So the first run for the first test case, you can see the value id is there, right? Prop is equal to properties, and you can see the id, some IDs assigned to the prop value. Now what we'll do, here we have certain buttons and shortcut as well, like F8, we can resume our test, and this is step info. Suppose we want to go inside the particular code, if you have inner methods, and then step over F6, this is F5, this is F6. Suppose we want to switch to another level, then we can go with F6, right? And this is to return to previous step, like step return F7. So simply what we'll do, this is the first case running, so simply I'll resume F8. So it will launches the browser, navigate it to URL, and it will close. So the first test case is run now, it got stopped for the second case. Now what we'll do, you can see cursor over here, you can see the prop is null. So this is the problem, right? This is what we face the problem. So what we'll do, simply I'll stop the execution now, the debug execution, and what we'll do, we'll put the static keyword over here, protected static, and save it. Now let's see whether it is working fine or not this time. So come back to testng.xml, run as testng suite. First test got executed. Now it is looking for the second case. Now you can see successfully both the test cases got executed. Now you can see the comment, guys, setting up the WebDriver the comment which we have given, right? If you go to the base class, setting up the driver, and this code, this particular statement like this dot class name gives you the class name dummy class, and you can see here dummy class 2, right? The name of the class name, test class name. So this is how you can do you can configure your base class, and there is no harm if you put static keyword over here as well. However, there is no need for the driver, because what we have done is we have, after each test we are closing the driver, right? After tear down, you can see the tear down process, we are simply quitting the driver, so the instance will be closed, and then for the second run we reinitialize the driver. So that's why it is not needed, and this was needed because we have initialized only once and then we tried to use for the second class, so that's why we got the failure. So there is no harm if you put the driver over here, because going forward we might need that. Okay, so yeah, this is what we can achieve, right, by configuring our or we can refactoring our code. What else is remaining today? I think we are pretty much done. Yeah, one more thing you can do here. So we have set up 2 classes inside this classes tag, right? What you can do, and we have run only one test. What we can do, you can simply copy this and put it over here for the another test, and make sure you change the name of the test, otherwise it will give the error. So just change the name of the test. Now if I run it, then 4 test cases will be executed as part of two test we have inside this suite tag. And you can see there is a warning here, it is strongly recommended to add doc type. So let's add this doc type in our testing.xml. That's the reason it is showing some error over here, right? So you can add like this. Now let's run one more time this testing.xml. So 4 times it will launch the browser and it will close the browser. Now you can see 4 test cases are passed, right? And if you see the results, you can see orange HRM is the suite, the first suite, and then we have 2 tests inside this orange HRM suite. So we have orange HRM test and we have orange HRM test 1. So this is how you can run different tests inside your suite tag. So what I'll do, simply I'll remove for now, we don't need this. So this is all for today, guys. So what we can do, the next we are going to set up our action driver class, right, in the 5th part. And the task for you is better to understand the concept of static keyword. You can do some more R&D on it, okay, and you can refactor your code based on like how we have done it today, right? So this is all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.